friend here to film my sets. All right, hi everybody. As you said, my name is Olivia Flood-Wylie. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. Before the world ended, I worked as a bartender. I was not good at it, but that's okay because this is the Netherlands, so it doesn't matter. I have to say, as an American, I feel like the Dutch approach to service is, what's the word that I'm looking for? Genius, okay? I know you guys get a lot of shit for it, but I love it so much. Because in America, when you work in service, you live on tips, okay? So your relationship with your customers is super unhealthy. So like if I was serving you in America, this is how it would go, okay? I would be like, hi guys, how are you doing? Are you doing really good? Are you having a really good, you having a really good night? Are you having a really good time so far? Is it good for you? Okay, so come over here. I have a fun fact for you. I'm gonna be your server tonight. Woo! I know. I know it's exciting. Okay. Tell me first, is tonight just a regular Friday, or is it a special occasion? It's just a regular Friday. Good for you. Keep the magic alive. I love you already. Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you about our specials tonight. It's 2-for-1 pancakes. And you subsidizing the fact that my employer doesn't pay me a living wage. Death comes for all of us. What can I get for you? Do you want like French fries? Do you want a soda? Do you want me to dance for you? Do you want to hit me with your car? Would you like to kill me? Yeah. That's on the table if necessary. Whereas in the Netherlands, as a server, you can walk up to a table like, hey, what's up, motherfuckers? These are the menus. Now listen to me. We both know I don't need you. So why don't you tell me what you want? And I'll spend tonight deciding if I want to bring it to you. I have to say, it's weird moving to a foreign country. I moved here with no job, no connections, like zero plan whatsoever, no people. And it's hard to introduce yourself to people from scratch, right? Like to get people to know you well quickly. Especially when you come from a weird family and you've had a weird life, right? Like there's levels of relatable. So we're like, up here, we're like, I come from a family of alcoholics, right? And people are like, cool, me too, no worries. So it's like pretty relatable, right? Then we're like, sub-level, I've had 6 major head injuries in my life. And people are like, well, I've had 1. I'm worried about you, but I get where you're coming from. And then there's the last level, which is I almost accidentally fell in love with my cousin in university because we met there, and he's from the wealthy front family, and I'm from the seedy secret family, and we didn't know the other one existed. People don't really get that, you know? And then there's another layer to, like, you know, the sort of strangeness of my life, which is I was a late bloomer, which had a deep effect on my psyche. Anyone else here a late bloomer?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
You said it late. For those of you who don't know, late bloomer is a colloquial term for looking like a 9-year-old boy until you were 18 years old. When I turned 18, over the course of 1 year, I grew a foot, and I gained 40 pounds. I actually wrote down the conversion for the Europeans. Over the course of a year, I grew 30 centimeters, and I gained 18 kilos. how traumatizing that was for me. I grew so fast that my soccer coach thought I was going blind. If you need me to expand on that a little bit. My last year of high school, we had a new coach. And I was on the varsity soccer team, which is like the really good team, basically. And I had just grown, and I was at a practice, and a ball came at me, and I tried to kick it, and I just missed the ball completely. And the new soccer coach came running over to me, and he was a 40-year-old man who was a soccer coach in Los Angeles Unified School District with a red face and crushed dreams. Naturally, he had a high emotional intelligence. So he walks up to me and he very calmly goes, "Hey, what's wrong with your fucking eyes?" And I was like, "What?" And he says, "Well, when I used to coach baseball, anytime one of my boys couldn't hit the ball, I'd send him to an eye doctor. And it was always they were losing their eyesight, and then we'd fix it." And I was like, "Oh, there's nothing wrong with my eyes. I just grew like a foot this year, and I don't know where my feet are, or where my legs are generally, or actually anything about my current body. It's sort of like if a spider was being controlled from space. Like, I don't know what's going on." And he goes, "Oh, thank fuck. I thought you were going blind." And then he just walked away. And that's kind of a formative experience I've had with a man. It's really stuck in my head for a long time since. I never really regained control of my body. But I think about him a lot. Which isn't great because he later married a girl that was on my team. A girl he coached from the age of 14. And they're still married. And he's still a high school soccer coach. I don't have a punchline, I'm just mad about it. I have found that being a late bloomer really affected the quality of my relationships going forward. I really only dated like shitbags. Because when you look like a 9-year-old boy until you're 17, and then you go through an ugly duckling phase until you're 22, you don't really have time to establish standards, you know? Any man pays attention to you and you're like, "Great, let's do it right now." "You wanna fuck in this diner?" "Sure." I don't know how to say no. And I somehow managed to accomplish the real American dream when I moved here, which was tricking a Canadian into loving me. He is an angel. Like, he really is. He is so wonderful. My friends are super mean.
Yeah.
Mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you both like him.
Yeah.
Great. Nobody else cared about that, but I've honestly never asked them if they liked him, and I just wanted validation on the spot. But no, he's great. He's an angel. And he did what I should have suspected Canadians would do, which is move back to Canada. I don't know why I didn't see that one coming. But we've been doing long distance for a long time now, and I'm doing terrible. I'm doing so bad. And it's so transparent on my face. Like, everybody can tell. I ran into a girl I took one improv class with a year ago. We had like a 5-minute conversation on the street. And then she texted me afterwards, and she was like, "Good to see you today. Hey. If you ever need to talk." And I was like, "Oh no. Everybody knows. It's so obvious." I'm at the Aldi buying a single chicken breast for the 3rd time that week. And the cashier is like, "That'll be €2. Hey. If you ever need to talk." My emotions, like, everything's at an 11 all of the time. You know, I stubbed my toe the other day, and I was like, "So, suicide, pros and cons." What's the deal? A tram driver did that fucking thing that they do where they, like, pull up to a stop, and you're supposed to just know that it's only for people who are getting off. And And then if you try to get on, they'll go like, nay, 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 from inside the thing. And then they just don't let you get on, and you're like, well, what's happening? And they just stare at you from inside the glass. Like the world's meanest fish. And usually I would just like, just be like, you're right, I'm an idiot, I'm fucking garbage, like everybody just go forward, I'm not even gonna get on the train, like just everybody hate me. But I'm so fed up these days that I'm like, do you feel like a fucking man? Are you happy now? I look like an idiot. Have you done your due diligence for the Haven Bay? I'm constantly cycling through, like old, terrible, embarrassing memories. I emceed a show here at Boom Chicago like 9 months ago, and I was trying to keep the energy up in the room, and I ran on stage after a comedian, and I tried to say the hits keep on coming, but I said the hips keep on coming, and then I panicked, and I pointed at my hip. I wake up in a cold sweat, thinking about that 7 nights a week. I'm not coping well. Did I get lighted and miss it, Tim? No. Okay, great. You all gotta keep. I'm gonna be here for a while. No, I'm trying to expand my my skills. Because my boyfriend's gone and I'm a disaster. I'm trying to work on new things. So I'm going to do an impression. I call this recently heartbroken woman at a Zumba class. I can't. Will someone, you, America, will you count me in?
Sure.
Just say 5, 6, 7, 8.
5, 6, 7.
Well, not yet.
Okay.
I'm going to just recap. This is recently heartbroken woman at a Zumba class. Okay, count me in.
5, 6, 7, 8.
How much time do I have, Tim? Am I done?
1 minute.
Great. Oh, I can do one more. Fuck all of you. Okay. I'm aware that it's crazy for me to have made fun of Dutch people as much as I have during this set. I know that. But if you'll hear me out, there are maybe jobs that I feel like maybe Dutch people are a tiny bit less qualified for. Hear me out. It's just the way my Dutch therapist talks to me. I don't want to call it bullying. But it's pretty fucking close. My first appointment with her, my intake appointment, I started crying, and she just looks at me and she goes, you have a lot of feelings, don't you? That is a real thing my Dutch therapist said to me. And I was like, I get it, Annemieke, okay? You should use your Dutch appointment, right? Where Jordan comes in, and he's like, Annemieke, I've had a terrible week. And she's like, what happened, Jordan? And he's like, I almost had a feeling. And she's like, can you expand on that, please? And he's like, well, I was cycling. And a woman cut me off. And I yelled at her in Dutch. then she yelled back at me in English. And I realized she was American. And so she couldn't understand me. And it's just like, how will she know that I think she's a cancer horse?